We set up a time to meet prior to when you start. When you show up 3 minutes before you start,
I was here. I was trying to get this thing situated. It sucks.
I show up typically an hour before the show.
Yeah, tell the people why their time is invaluable.
This like the most #1 hated HVAC entertainment show in the world. There was like 7 points I was supposed to hit, and I think I missed 2 of them still though. So, but here we are, just the two of us. Maybe someone else is joining. There we go. There's Adam.
Thank God. Oh, that camera.
Wait. The irony.
I know, right?
I'm just gonna soak this in. Joe is currently making fun of Adam's camera.
Right, and he has nothing to say. I'll take a sip to that.
What is going on?
It's too heavy.
Holy Mike.
Wait, hold on. Adam, I don't think your mic is working.
Wow.
Potato vision, absolutely.
Potato vision. There we go. Welcome to the HVAC Overtime show, where something always has to be broken.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Can you
just
see me?
kind of hear you in a tin can.
What kind of tin can?
Like the tin can that's in front of you 6 feet, and you're kind of yelling.
Yeah, it's funny, Nasty. He asked me about where I am. I said the same place where you friggin' ponded that camera. So, yeah.
So while Adam's playing with his camera over there, oh, we got vertical Adam.
Oh no! Oh my God! What is going on here?
So for those that don't, if you're an OG and you've been around for a long time, we always pick on Joe. Okay, we always pick on Joe because he's really easy to be picked on because he always does stupid shit. Okay, sorry, Joe, but you always do stupid shit. All right. No, Joe's mics or cameras are always messed up and stuff, and then now Adam's camera's messed up. And I bet you anything he's like in his living room right now. So what are the odds that his family's going to turn on a blender in a few minutes? There you go.
That would top it off, Jesus. 3 dots, 3 blue dots would top it off.
You gonna call in reinforcements for someone to come hold your camera the whole time?
Hold on, I'm gonna get a dollhouse.
Okay.
Yamo, get Yamo. He's available.
All right. Well, now that Adam is gone and we can hear him in the background, it's just me and Joe. Yeah. So what's up, Joe? What's going on this week, man?
Not much. Can't complain, I guess. What was actually? You know what? Before we go on, what happened to Bill? I thought he was gonna be on the show today.
He sent us a voice message. Hold on, let me find it.
Actually, you should play the voice message if you have it.
In our super top secret private chat. Let's see. See if we can hear this. So if you wanted to know what that was Bill going potty.
Do you like my purple shirt?
Sure.
It's okay now.
Yeah.
But before the camera on your face was all purple, you look like Barney.
Yep.
But yeah, I'll be running late. Baby's crying. Give me a few. And he gave a little voice snippet.
Yeah. So Bill's a new baby daddy. So, and he's doing baby daddy stuff, you know. Basically, he walked out of his house. He doesn't talk to his wife anymore. And He's not paying any bills or child support. He's just like a typical baby daddy.
Imagine.
So
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us where you're at.
I'm at an undisclosed location right now.
On your first floor in your kitchen with your sink in front of you.
No, this is actually the dining room.
Oh, okay. I'm confused because there's drywall, so that's why I was confused by. I thought you didn't have any drywall.
I'm tethered. I was gonna say I could take you around on the tour, but I haven't.
Oh yeah, you could have showed actually what you got done already. But the plumber said you went there, he did some toilet stuff and pipe it in or whatever.
Yeah, Joe does not like Joe. I know some people here in the United States they tie their drain in on the toilet, on the wall. They hang their toilet on the wall. We don't do that most of the time. Sometimes we do, but not really.
Wait,
it is pretty nice though. Once it's finished,
your toilet on the wall.
Yeah, it's like a floating toilet. Pretty neat.
I mean, that's got to be good for like sweeping and stuff like that,
So what happens if you're sitting on it and it falls? Like, do you crush your feet?
It shouldn't.
That's the key word, shouldn't. But if it can, it will.
Maybe.
Come on, dude. If an American hung a toilet on a wall and it was floating,
good point.
It would totally fall, bro.
It's falling. Yeah.
They would hang it with plastic anchors, dude. Come on.
Yeah. But like what's it called? Hughesman said, easy to clean under for sure. No piss around those damn bolts and nastiness.
True that. You don't got to worry about the unlevel toilet or the toilet flange that's got busted.
Right. That wax getting heated by in-floor heating.
My kid's bathroom, the toilet flange, the tiles are unlevel, and I changed the toilet like 2 years ago, and I was too lazy because it's a little unlevel. So when I just don't use that bathroom, because if you sit on it, the toilet just
that's annoying.
And I'm like, this is just stupid. And the toilet flange, like the bolts are like messed up, and I'm like, man, I don't want to deal with this crap. My kids
That's why you are not a plumber. You should not be doing plumber type things.
Nah, that's true. But when your toilet don't work and your kids are having to go in your bathroom and they annoy you, you just go put a toilet in real quick and be done with it.
Actually, I still only seen one house, maybe two of the more, ritzy houses. Actually, one of them I'm working to lately. It has actually a, men's washroom thingy, like a stall, whatever you want to call it.
Wait, does your toilet have one of those chains that you pull to flush it?
That's pretty cool. Gravity toilet? No, I don't. I think it's big in Europe.
I don't define that as cool. I define that as stupid, dude.
They have those at that Frank Lloyd Wright house I've been working on. They have those type of toilets there. Yeah, where you pull the thing. My luck, I pulled the freaking thing, it would fall. The chain would fall off in your hand. And then what do you do?
And there's a big old dude sitting in the toilet, and you're like, what do I do? How do I do it? You're like pulling the bowl off to freaking pull the plunger out. Have you ever seen the old school toilets where they would have the bowl or the water chamber way up high, and then it would like come down the wall into the bowl?
Oh wow! So it's all gravity.
Weird. It's probably didn't have good water pressure or something.
No.
So what? We already got technical questions in here. I don't know about technical questions. Are we in the?
My question, I mean, I guess it depends, right? Like, what size ductwork?
How many we get at show?
Right? Is it?
Why don't you read it? So if someone's listening to that podcast,
all right, yeah, on the. Bill doesn't upload the podcast.
Well, he's gonna start right. Static testing on downflow furnace clay ductwork around perimeter. Will static be higher or about the same? I'm assuming about the same to a metal. Or there's plastic. But anyways, yeah, metal. But go ahead. What were you going to say?
It's clay, though? That's weird. I don't think I've ever seen clay before.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm assuming, like, how much, I guess, what's it called? The friction rate? I'm pretty sure they're probably the same shit. Like, how far off can they be between metal and clay?
I mean, one thing that I would say, like, if it's in a slab, like older duct systems in that, I always run across things that are collapsed. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. So,
and and you know what, you're kind of like screwed in a way because you're not really going to be touching that supply. So your only other options are maybe a coil, filter, return drop.
I'll tell you one thing that we've run into a lot around here, like on the older houses, like 1960s on a slab, single-story ranch. You have a downflow furnace with ductwork in the slab, and it collapses. Sometimes you don't know it collapses because it only partially collapses, or it will be metal ductwork that will rot apart. And when it rots, now you have a connection with the earth. So two things that could happen is you could start moving radon into your house. And the other thing is, if you have a high water table there, you actually start filling up the ductwork with water.
Humidity.
And you have like water dripping all over from the walls of your house. And I've seen that multiple times.
You know, it's funny you say that because in indoor pool setups, it happens a little bit. The metal either collapses in the slab or rusts because they don't do a proper procedure. And you get water in the ductwork. There's like water literally like inches in the ductwork.
Right.
So it's
walking into
what
kind of conversation is this?
More work for the unit, of course, just like more work for the house.
Yeah, so like when you have that, like basically all it is a big humidifier that never stops, right?
In the summertime.
So what we've done in that, we've done it a decent amount of times in the past, but like basically we flip the furnace and you do an upflow and run the ductwork in the attic and abandon the ductwork.
Nice. That's a good option right there.
Fill the ductwork with concrete and call it a day. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
We got to catch Bill up real quick. Bill.
What are you guys talking about?
So what you missed was Joe was making fun of Adam because of his shitty camera and his shitty microphone. And then Adam was trying to fix it. And Adam went vertical for a minute, horizontal, like his camera was all messed up. And I just thought it was ironic.
So
that Joe
Adam
was
is our Adam is our new Joe.
Yep, pretty much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all you missed. And then what they were talking about, I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. So
they sure do, Steve. They sure do. And even the new ones, okay, they're coated and everything.
Guys.
It's in a bad environment. It's not too bad. They could be worse. Remember in the olden days when they weren't coated and they just slapping things together makes some dehumidification work. Fuck, those things just got killed.
Jason.
Or when people think they can use AC systems as dehumidification in a pool room. Good luck.
HVAC. What's up, Hambo?
Or everything. What's everything?
Say,
open flame burners in a pool room.
What the?
God.
Is that like the stop talking buzzer? What was that?
I think that's the internet glitching. I'm not hardwired right now. We're going Wi-Fi.
Oh, this is the internet because of the Microsoft whatever cloud strike thing.
It's because I'm in my living room or dining room.
Dude,
I was gonna say, what were we?
Why do all your rooms look like hotel rooms?
They are. We live in a hotel.
Look at those
Right,
curtains.
Steve? Oh my God! And manufacturer doesn't want you to.
Those out.
Oh, Joe.
Yeah.
Did I bring up? It was about a year or so ago. We went on a little vacation in the Smoky Mountains, and the cabin that we were in had this thing is wild, by the way. It's on the side of a mountain. This house is hanging off the side of the mountain, and they have an in-ground pool hanging off the side of the mountain. Like that just seems not like I don't know. But anyway, their solution to dehumidification was I jimmied the lock. They had like a service door in the pool room, like a closet. And I got in there, and they had one of these April Air, the April Air whole house dehumidifiers that were hooked up.
Sure.
Well, that thing killed itself after a short period of time. They just abandoned that. So then what they did next was they installed a Santa Fe, one of those flush mount wall dehumidifiers. That thing didn't last very long. Yeah. And then for whatever reason, somebody had a brilliant idea to install a mini split.
Fuck. Jeez.
I'm like, man, I don't think they're going to fix this. It doesn't seem like they're even moving in the correct direction.
You know what I mean? Like, so they changed it 3 times, and they're killing the place probably in the meantime, all to try to save that money when they could have just done it right the first time and save the envelope and save the
Dirtfoot.
The story of my life is customers spending money on stupid shit. That is messed up. This last week has just been hell, but I had a customer that installed an entire new walk-in freezer, entire new produce walk-in, like we're talking the box and the equipment, and a walk-in that they store their meat in, that they have I call it a hybrid freezer because they keep it at 28 degrees. And the walk-in freezer is undersized. The equipment's undersized. It will not maintain temperature. The meat walk-in is undersized. I came across for the same customer, but a different location. They changed 4 package units on the roof and they have the wrong curb adapters. So they're overhanging the curb and blowing cold air on the roof. People are just being cheap and hiring the cheapest. Like, this is what happens when you get 3 bids and hire the cheapest one. Like, what the hell? You know, like, people being dumb.
And you know what? I say that all that work you spend, doing your invoices or your quotes on that tiny little graph paper that you do.
Yeah.
And they're just like throwing it away. They're like, it's not the cheapest. I don't care how neat it is. How professional it looks.
My graph paper that I draw everything out on before I order it. And yeah.
Meat walking reminds me of my act.
What'd you say?
Anywho.
Yeah. No, but this customer, they totally botched this walk-in freezer. So I kind of talked about it, I think, on the show last week, but because I had a technician out there last weekend and then I was kind of dealing with it this week, but I went out there and I ran the numbers, and the load that they ran on that box, like, it is sized to, they sized it like we sized my house. They were aggressive. Like, they were very aggressive right at the load calculation. But what they didn't account for is all the variables. This is a high volume kitchen. They open and close the door freaking multiple times an hour. We're talking probably 6 to 8 times an hour. They open the walk-in freezer door. The internal volume of this walk-in freezer is 9 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot. So it's a small box, right? And when you open a 6 foot door, you know, 6 times an hour with a 76 to 80 degree kitchen, poof, every time, dude.
Wow.
And
sorry, what's the temperature of the room supposed to be? The walk-in?
-10. The room's supposed to be -10. And every time. And so basically the box, I went back there today because there was a bunch of installer errors. They never set the superheat. The compressor was overheating because they never set the superheat on the evaporator. They never set the pressure control right, so the compressor wouldn't turn back on after it's satisfied for a long time. They never installed the proper defrost clock. Like, it was just one thing after another, and it's just hell. And then now I got to get paid because the customer was like, we need you out there. And I told them, call the warranty company. And they were like, but you're our company. We want you to do it. And I'm like, then I'm billing you. And then now they're like, well, bill the warranty company. And I'm like, no, I don't fucking work for the warranty company. I told you to call them from the beginning. I'm not billing them.
Yeah.
You guys are paying me, you know?
Dude, see, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. And it's like, what did I solve all your problems for? And then told you and then the meat walk-in, which is, they haven't even asked me to look at. I just found problems with that one too. They installed the wrong equipment. They need to maintain 28 degrees in there, and they put an air defrost evaporator coil. You can't use air defrost if you're maintaining 28 degrees. You need to have electric defrost.
Explain.
No heaters
I'm
in
an idiot. I'm not refrigeration, dude. What is that like?
So they've got a meat walk-in that they want to maintain 28 degrees inside the box. So obviously it's below freezing, right? Yeah. So the evaporator coil typically on a box like that is sized to have it has a 10 degree evaporator TD. So the suction saturation temperature of that box is going to be 10 degrees below 28 degrees. So it's going to be an 18 degree coil essentially, right? So with an 18 degree coil, if they're coming in and out of that box a lot, air defrost just isn't going to work, because what do you shut it off for 15 minutes and you let the 28 degree air in the box circulate across that coil? It's never going to get warm enough to defrost any frost that builds up on the coil. So that's why they have to have electric defrost on it. And they installed just standard air defrost. And I'm like, you guys can't. So they're like, I'm noticing it. I go, you guys notice that the temperature in that box, because they're very strict about their temperatures. And I go, do you notice that your temperature's like maintaining like 33, 32 degrees all the time? They're like, yeah, it should be like 28, 27. And I go, it can't be, because if I turn it any colder, I'm surprised it's not iced up as it is already.
I was gonna say, has it froze up yet?
Not yet, but
so what do they do for electric defrost? Like, how does that work?
It's just strip heaters. Think about a strip heaters in a heat pump, but essentially it's their cattle rod heaters. So they're just solid heaters encapsulated in a metal tube.
On the return side of the
they run through the middle of the coil.
Right in it.
There's usually one in the drain pan, one
elements
strapped to the bottom of the coil, and then 2 in the back of the coil. And it's technically on the return side. And then when it goes into defrost, it turns off the evaporator fan motors, and the strip heaters energize. And then obviously the heat's going to move to the cold and all that good stuff. But yeah, so they just botched that whole restaurant, like just mess. And then it's like, why am I stressing about this? I was thinking about that this week. I'm like,
that company installed a meat walk-in, a freezer walk-in,
a whole new box, whole new meat walk-in, a whole new walk-in freezer,
whole new walk-in freezer,
and a produce walk.
Wow.
So the boxes themselves are fine. It's just the equipment.
Yeah.
And on the walk-in freezer, they sized it exactly to the exact load calculation. So it's like a 6,500 BTU required load. And so the equipment, the balanced load between the evaporator and the the evaporator and the condenser is like 6,500 BTU or 6,300 BTUs on the.
What was there before?
I don't remember. I'd have to go do the research. But it was a bigger box before. They downsized the box a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, so I told them, I was like, you need to go up to the next size to a 9,000 BTU equipment. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I would have sold you, So because
but you were more expensive though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it would have been more expensive on the get-go. It would have cost them an extra $1,000 in design and install, but now it's going to cost them an extra $12,000, like $1,000 when they first did it, or an extra.
Well, and they're not going to front the money and do it right the second time around. Instead, what they're going to do,
work. I solved the problem.
They're going to keep calling you, Chris. It iced up again. Can you come fix it?
And the corporate office is like, well, they installed it 3 months ago. They're like, we installed it 3 months ago. Why is it a problem now? I go, because it's 115 degrees outside. Like BTUs change. Condensing unit output dramatically falls off the map when discharge temperature goes up, and condensing temp goes up. And yeah.
He's awesome, Steve. Actually, a good friend of the show, Ray, was asking, and I've been meaning to ask you anyways, how are those field piece valve hoses holding up, Chris, that you got? Because you got them, right?
Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, I don't have a problem. First off, one of the biggest questions when I first got the field piece hoses is, how do you tell which one's high and low? It's like, well, first off, they have little color things that you put on.
Yeah, those are cool. Come on.
They didn't have those. Like,
yeah.
Come on. You can't tell which one's the low one. Like, it goes on the
low
low
one's
side.
connected to my suction
I don't need
side.
colors to tell me what goes where, but they do have little clips that go around them that tell you the color.
Didn't you say there's something up with the fitting, like the way that?
Yes. Yeah. Say what you were going to say, Adam.
I have the clips on mine. I honestly just think the hoses look cool. They're all black, and then you have just like these little blue, yellow, and
And if you think about it, on field pieces part, it was actually smart because now they don't have to make 3 different hoses. It's the same hose.
Yeah. True. Here's the thing, though. Whatchamacallit, it is, the angle of it is stupid. I have to tell you. The
45-degree angle, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Aren't they all like that? All the valve ones, aren't they all 25?
No. What they do is the placement of the valve or the angle. Something's different on like the yellow jacket and that, because you 100% are like kind of pinching the hose, or you are like you have to kick it really to the side, or it's like it's not a natural state to flip a tank upside down when you're charging, for sure.
Oh, so because you guys flip them like pioneers. I get it. When you put them, got it.
Flip them like pioneers.
Yeah.
Joe,
you guys never went to Pioneer Village?
I even flip my recovery tanks that have a dip tube. I flip those up too, because I don't like the dip tube. The dip tube's a restriction. It slows down my recovery. So when I'm pushing gas into the recovery tank,
why not just recover into the vapor side then?
Because if you push it into the vapor side and invert it, then the liquid will stack and it'll actually move a lot faster.
Yeah. Fine, recovering, but I mean, I'm saying like adding refrigerant or charging, you guys flip them over.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Why is it on recovery tanks that sometimes you get them where it shows the vapor side
is can't blue, go by the color. You can't.
And the other times it's the vapor side is red.
It happens to you guys too?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. You can't trust colors because people will message me. They're like, "You put it on the wrong side." No, I didn't, dumbass. Let me make a video to show you. One says vapor, one says liquid. They're the same color. Yeah.
So pay attention to what it says, not the color. The color means nothing.
Right.
They might as well. Hey, they're making all the tanks gray. They might as well make the handles freaking black too, because they don't.
Yeah. 100%.
Or just have one handle. It doesn't matter anymore.
So Ray says, are they worth buying? Yeah, I actually really do like the field piece hoses.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say that the 45-degree angle is stupid. It's just, it does get in the way a little bit. When you're using a recovery tank, it kind of gets in the way.
I have to say it's a little stupid. And I was one of their beta testers, and they didn't ask me to test the hose, and that would have been one of the first. Although I got to tell you, I love Fieldpiece, and I love a lot of the people that work for Fieldpiece. But I've given them my opinion in the past, and they completely ignore what I have to tell them. So,
shots fired.
You know, I mean, and you know, because I see a little bit of the manufacturer side. They've got 50 billion people giving them advice, and eventually they have to make a decision and just run with something. I'm not saying that the decisions are right or anything like that, but just seeing a little bit of an insider's view from the manufacturer's perspective.
But like you would think that, and this is not just to Fieldpiece, this is like other manufacturers as well too. If you have beta testers in that, at least like vet the complaints. Like if somebody tells you like the tank is pinching the hose, I have like an easy solution. Connect a hose to a tank and flip it upside down. It takes like 30 seconds and just try it out. You know what I mean? Like, so
Jason Johnson makes a good point. He says, be careful with those recovery tanks. 2 weeks ago, he had rust chips clog the screen on his Appian G5 Twin. These tanks are dirty. Okay, 100% the truth. The recovery tanks are filthy inside. I challenge any one of you guys to go grab an empty recovery tank and bust that top off and look on the inside. It'll be filled with rust. So, they do like an acid wash on those things, and then they dehydrate them after, and they're nasty. You can pick one up and shake it, and you'll hear the rust floating around inside.
That's like one of the things too. Like if you have a new system and you have to break it open for whatever reason and do a repair to it, a lot of people will just recover it and then use the same gas back again. I mean, I think you're rolling the freaking dice on that.
Not a new system.
If I'm worried about the tank, if it's a tank that I think like you can shake it and you can hear it or something like that, I'll just put a recovery dryer on there. Sporlan makes a 032 male female dryer, so it's female on one side, it'll screw onto the threads, and then you can just get the right direction and put it on the recovery tank, and then you just clean the gas as it's coming out.
That's a good idea.
We did that on an R22 system for a customer that had a plugged up dryer the other day. And we were like, should we change the gas? And we were trying to help them out. So instead, we just ran the gas through a recovery dryer. And we actually plugged up the recovery dryer. When we were recovering the gas out of the system, my guy's like, yeah, I plugged up, dude. And I'm like, well, just go get another dryer and then clean it going back into the system and send it.
Another thing unrelated is nitrogen. Everyone says dry nitrogen, right? I was using nitrogen recently, and I actually got like a mist of vapor or like water coming out of the nitrogen. Yeah, absolutely. So
why? How?
Moisture inside the tank, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What were you using to spray the nitrogen out?
Refrigerant hoses.
Oh, okay. I have one of those little air compressor things with a little button on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
every once in a while there'd be moisture.
It was a challenging week trying to solve all the problems for that walk-in freezer and get to the bottom of the situation. I went back today, and then it was working. It's just in the high ambient temperatures, it really struggles to get down to temp. It just sits there at like 5 degrees box temp, and we should be getting -10, and it just struggles. And I'm like, you guys need to upsize the equipment. And they're like, okay, do it. And I'm like, I don't have time for that shit right now. Like, this is busy time. This isn't construction time. Like,
do you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Is that fax machine, dude? Is that Pioneer Vision, Pioneer Time fax machine, or what? What's going on?
Is this a 56K modem over there?
Oh, yeah, 56K.
Is the password to your dial-up Mongoloid 1?
Mongoloid.
You guys know that?
How loud is it?
It's pretty loud, dude. When I was a kid, my parents wouldn't let me have the password to AOL. Like, I didn't have it until I turned 18. I couldn't get on the internet without my parents logging me in. So I remember having to listen to that.
Yeah, dial up. Yeah.
My mom thought I would be downloading porn, and she was 100% right. Because
do you remember the AOL CDs that you get like $500?
Yeah.
Man.
100%. You guys remember LimeWire downloading all the music or Napster?
Music?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what? Talking about this old stuff, that reminds me, I was doing a job at a JCPenney this week. Up in the ceiling, I found 2 brand new toy catalogs from 2004, dude. 20 years old, mint condition.
Wow.
I don't want you guys to think I'm some sort of big deal, but these things are selling on eBay for like $25. All right. These things are just immaculate. It was amazing. And first thing Chris was like, are those the ones with like the girls in the bras and stuff?
Oh, 100%, dude. 9-year-old Chris just came out like all excited.
Wasn't
like,
it
wait, you got the JCPenney catalogs with
I
the
feel
bras?
like that was the Sears catalog.
It
Was
might have
the
been, dude. Who knows?
was
Imagine-
like that?
You were lucky if your mom got the Fredericks of Hollywood catalog, because if you got that
Oh,
one,
yeah.
dude, you were, that was the one.
There was one that I remember. I can't remember the name of it though, but it would like just randomly show up every once in a great while. And yeah, I do remember that was one of the old timey ones where the girls had those like pointed bras, like old missile tits. Oh man, those are great.
Imagine the mindset of the guy who's keeping that catalog. Hey, I'm gonna keep this Sears catalog or JCPenney catalog. It's gonna be worth something. Like,
Well, he put it up there. It was like a time capsule, you know.
fuck,
Yeah,
for
dude.
real, must have been.
Oh, it's so awesome. Like look
So
at
that's
this
funny
old toys.
because
Speaking of time
Steve-
capsule, you remember that video you sent the other day about the dude who fell back behind the refrigeration
Oh,
Oh yeah,
walk-in
Yeah.
cooler? He's like a time capsule. How long was he back there for?
10
those
years,
couple
wasn't
years, yeah.
What?
They found him.
it?
Yeah,
10
dude
years.
fell in the. If you've ever been on top of like a walk-in freezer, walk-in cooler at like a hospital or something, there's usually about 8 inches beside the box that they stack it away from the walls. And this was years ago, but they found him like decomposed and dead on the side of the box.
So,
I'm
like-
sitting thinking, who didn't hear him banging on the wall unless
Yeah,
he
who
like
didn't
fell
hear him?
head first and knocked himself out?
Yeah, but like let's say he landed feet up though, or on his feet, I guess. Yeah, who wouldn't hear him banging? And then also, couldn't you like just kind of push against the wall and lift
Shimmy?
yourself back up? I guess. Yeah, shimmy
That's
your way
what I was
back up.
thinking. How do you not
Yeah.
smell the fucking dude? That's
True.
like
Yeah. I mean,
ferocious,
if it was a
man.
7-Eleven though, that's different.
Nah, if it was a hospital, dude, those hospitals got big, giant,
Oh,
I thought it was
habitable
a-
they got a
prison.
bunch of insulation. Like they probably wouldn't have smelled them.
I thought it was a
So-
convenience store.
Oh, I have no idea.
That's
Yeah,
gotta
how
be-
did someone like? Where was he at? The last place he was at? I don't know. You know, like
He was here.
or
Well, let's-
GPS.
Yeah, but if you think about it, that would be the last place you would look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I mean, I've dropped tools down there and just looked and said, "Yep, that's gone
Yep,
forever.
that's
Let's
gone.
go ahead and move on."
Yeah.
So
It's also like I would say most of the time there's a ceiling tile or something you have to move out of the way to get up there.
yeah,
So like I kind of feel like maybe somebody be like, "Hey, this ceiling tiles opened up," or
hey, the ceiling tile's open. Let's go ahead and move that back.
yeah, let's
Okay,
put
cool.
that back. Let's get back to searching for that guy.
Yeah, no. Yeah. There's like a full scale search. Well, let's look through the hospital. Oh, there's a ceiling tile open. Let's go ahead and put that back, and then just
Let me
keep
fix
going.
that real quick. Let me move this ladder. Oh wait, there's already a ladder here.
Someone
Yeah,
left
I
their
think it was
tool here
a-
too. That's weird.
I think it was a decomposed body, not composing. Decomposing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it already
decomposed. Yeah, there you
decomposed. Man, you know, I was working on I've kind of been working on a Unitrol process chiller this week. And I don't know how many guys out in the chat here have ever worked on Unitrol chillers, but this one's especially stupid. And also I have to almost whisper because my baby is sleeping right behind that wall.
Yep.
And if I talk too loud and she wakes up, I might as well just hammer my nuts in with. It's not going to be good.
With that catalog.
I wish I had a ding thing right now, you know? Ding.
Oh yeah.
Smash my wiener with a hammer before I wake that kid up in the middle of the night. But
Ding.
no, anyway, so this Unitrol chiller is kind of a fun issue or funky issue, however you want to look at it. I was having fun with it. But these Unitrol chillers, they come in like sections. They have module A, B, and they're just like a 4x4 square box. And you can stack them, put them next to each other, connect them with hoses and stuff. And I think they're built that way to add on capacity. If you want to make it bigger, you just buy another module, stack it in there, and wire it in. You can just keep adding, I guess. I don't know much about them, but that's what it seems to. And this one had a.
I think Bill just went underwater.
Yeah, what happened?
It just went like very like that for a minute.
Oh, I see. It could be that computer issue we're having in the world right now, or
Do you have a 56K modem too?
I'm on Wi-Fi right now, so yeah, like a multi-stack. Jason Johnson, you got it. But this one's a manual feed or manual fill tank, and the low water level switch had shorted out. So I went there today and replaced it. and fired the system back up, and nothing happened. I blew a fuse, nothing happened. Yeah, all right, whatever. And I found the low water level switch that I had just put on was bad. It's just a little reed switch, just a little bobber, magnetic reed switch, pops open or whatever. And so that was bad. And the customer had a second one, so I put that on and re-energized everything, changed the little fuse, because it's just a little control fuse up on the transformer. And same exact problem happened. So
you and me too. I feel you.
Go ahead, Bill. No.
Is it that the show gives me the shits?
So what ended up being the problem anyways with that? Did you figure it out or no?
You can't be just dropping bombs like that free on Leon.
Literally.
Is it glycol and process? I think it's just process. I don't think they use any sort of glycol in this system. It's all process. It's, as far as I know, the water line that they're chilling is just used to cool welders and some metal stamping machines. But anyway, so what I found was there's a water return solenoid valve that apparently had shorted out, but it was downstream of this low water level switch. And so every time I couldn't find that, because every time I replaced the switch before that, it would just burn out until the second time. I knew it was a good switch going in. And then I eventually figured out like that water solenoid valve is the issue, because I removed my low water switch and I put in one of those poppers, little 5 amp poppers. I put that thing in its place. It would pop it until I removed that return water solenoid, and then it stopped popping it. I'm like, well, that's got to be the problem.
Oh, nice.
Because it doesn't tone out to ground. So that was kind of confusing. But
Never got a solenoid really. Well, I guess it depends on solenoid. Was it tripping a fuse or no? Was it like killing a fuse or no?
That it was like tripping random fuses throughout the system.
Oh.
There's 5 or 6 fuses on this thing, and they're little 1 1.25 amp fuses.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And they're like in a line, L1, L2, F1, F2. There's a common fuse, and it would just like trip. One time it'd be the F2, it'd be the F1. There was a fuse that came right off the transformer. That was just the low voltage going into the controls, the 120 side.
Yeah.
Trip that. So it was just tripping random stuff. So it was and then also the way this thing's wired, and they don't have a schematic for it that really makes any sense.
Oh, great.
The wires and figure out where anything goes. Like I called tech support to talk to them about this problem, and he said, "Can you send me a picture of that schematic, because we don't have one?"
Come on.
That's reassuring.
Yeah,
Wow.
like that's the level of like stuff I'm dealing with here.
Did you look at under either what's it called? That site we had him on? Blue on. Or manuals.lib. Remember the one I was telling you about? They had
No, I got
Lib
that.
want you to like subscribe and sign up.
Not me.
No, I got the manual.
No.
It's got a schematic in there, but like
Okay.
the schematic is, I'd have to show you. It's real stupid. Like they tell you where a wire goes on a terminal block, like, but that's it. But they don't tell you from A to B to C, like what's in place. Like it's
pointless.
You really have to just manually trace the wires out from this module, because the wires go from this module over to this module, and then back to this module.
Nothing's numbered. Nothing. Well,
It's
why would it care?
numbered.
There's no schematic.
But like there's 4 number 22 wires, and there's like 6 number 5 wires that you have to trace out. And like, well, which one's which? You're holding 5 wires. I'm like, well, fuck, I don't know. You got to trace them out.
Wow.
So,
But
Joe, what is this picture you want me to show you? Want me to pull it up right now?
Oh, yeah, sure.
You give some
Japanese process chiller. That sounds
What the hell
cool.
is that noise, Adam?
Like Steve said, it's his dial-up. You remember that? Honestly, before we go on the internet, we have to wait for this thing to fucking dial up.
Is
Remember
that like
those
a
days?
fish tank pump? Like, what is it, bro?
And the best part about it was, you remember, like right after school when you tried to sign in, everyone was trying to sign in, so you would get business signals.
Well, you would have to change your dial-up location, because like you had your normal location, you changed it to another place that was near you that was somewhat in the normal area code, because you didn't want to get charged long distance fees for internet. So,
man, I was so far behind the curve. I didn't have internet like at my house till Like fucking 2015, I think. Luckily, I had friends though when I was younger that had internet, and I just go over their house and hang out with them.
That's what I'm wondering what it is, Freon, because Adam's over here like
every show. It's a Friday routine, Freon. It's a Friday routine.
Right. So what do we got going on here, Bill?
Well, this is the house I'm going to be going to on the weekend, and I'll be using a True Flow on. And this house, the second floor, I'm actually going to take a little video with this True Flow because this is a good house to do it on. It has 2 units. As you look at the thingy-majiggy, the picture.
Where's
you
the
should
units?
see 2. They should be there unless it's the wrong page.
Let's make it the whole screen, huh?
Yeah. This is the second floor, right? Yeah. So you see 1 unit on one side is doing one side of the house, and 1 unit's doing the other side of the house.
Give us some context. Where are these units at?
You should see them. They're labeled. You can see the furnace supply coming off of the return. You see
It's
one
a
in the
two-story
corner.
house, right? Or are those stairs just for looks?
Oh no, that's a nice stairs, buddy. This is a pretty huge house. Nice area.
Who lives
Just
there?
stairs.
4 units. Just some Mongolians.
Some
It's beside Drake's area. It's not too far, but it's not that area. But that whole. Anyways,
Better be careful. Watch out for Kendrick Lamar doing drive-bys.
I know, right? So you see one, right where the mouse is. You see one right in the corner. You see supply and return coming out, and see the other one on the other side. So one's doing one side of the second floor, one's doing the other side of the second floor. And the drawing, as you see,
too, right?
No, but we're not paying attention to the first floor. We're gonna just focus.
But they are doing the first floor too, right? Or you said there's 4 systems? Or
There's
just
4
2?
systems. There's 2 just to the second floor.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So the drawing, you can see there's more than 1 return. I didn't even get the size. I'm assuming they're 2 ton. But anyways, there's only 1 return in like the master bedroom, which has wood paneling all over this house. So they're restricted already. They have like slots in the wood. But anyways, there's only 1 return in each room per furnace. And the drawing states for obviously there's supposed to be more than 1 return. And so I'm gonna go.
Dude, wait a minute. So I'm just doing the math right now.
Yeah.
If I did the math really quick, there's 1.5 tons just for this foyer area in airflow.
Well, there you go. Well, yes, I think the
4 CFM 71.
Yeah.
178, 145,
Hey, we'll see you,
145.
Ryan.
Remember, half is 1 furnace, the other half is the other furnace. Remember
Yeah,
that.
but this is just for this area. That's all.
that area.
There's just for this area right here.
That could be sized for the main floor could be
560
taking care of
CFMs.
that, right?
That's insane.
I know. Oh, just for
this area.
Yeah. Right.
That's
Now
crazy.
that's the other thing that puzzles me too. Like when you're doing a heat load, there's obviously a heat load done. If you go lower, I think they have the heat load. What do you account for that big open area, anyways?
You account for whatever the heat load is.
But for that big area too, even though they're not, I don't think they're counting that.
Why?
Okay, so there's 5 tons for the second floor because there's a 2 ton and there's a 3 ton.
Does it show?
Uh-oh.
I did it. Oh, whose house was that?
Yeah.
That's
Right
a
here.
designer or whatever, whoever fucking fucked up on somebody.
So I don't understand. So 1 return per room isn't sufficient?
No, I think he's saying there's 1 total per system.
Yes.
Oh, that's horrible. With
I know.
with that many rooms and
Yes. And the rooms are huge.
Oh, like 1 central return in each area?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
No,
that's-
I don't think there's any bypasses, and it feels like they're trying to use this open area as a big bypass for these systems somehow.
When are you going there, Joe?
Tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh man, that's gonna be cool.
So I'll send you a picture of the roomulator, and you could just measure it and follow the directions.
Yeah.
And play with it like that, huh?
I want to do that. See, the problem with that is I might have to extend. It's hard to explain because you see, you get a return right in the master bedroom beside the door you're closing, but the room is so fucking huge. The master bedroom has fucking probably a kitchenette, another room beside it. I want to extend that hose further.
I honestly wouldn't move the return. I would, if anything, make it bigger, do whatever. But
Sure.
yeah.
Now Thank God the
not move
ductwork's
it?
in the attic, so I could add to it. Maybe they were going to do it, and they maybe they covered them with that beautiful wood design pattern. I don't know, but
I mean, if
hopefully
the
I could
rooms,
tap in.
if the rooms are that big, isn't it the best option is to put
So-
returns in each room?
The total
Yes.
house has
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 tons of cooling.
And how big is the house?
5,200 square
I'm
feet.
Sure. How much?
Probably 5,200.
Let me.
Yeah, I would say probably
let me back
more,
up.
but
Let me
that's
show.
yeah, it's above 5 for sure.
Let me see
But
if
it's probably what? It's all closed cell foam,
Yeah, because it's built maybe 5 years ago.
so it is foam.
So what'd they call you for?
Yeah. Well, I was there for they found me because I put their original. What I put? I did some boiler work for them, and I did the dehumidification system for them, which is after 5 years, by the way. No major fucking things. It's running good. I just had to do a huge cleanup and anyway, service. Then we started talking, and I guess they liked me and they wanted me to do the whole house. And as soon as I went upstairs, I'm like, because he was complaining, and then I went upstairs. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm walking around, and I go, okay, so show me where the returns are, supplies, and I see like 8, maybe 12 slots in the wood panel in the master bedroom for one, like these oval slots, ding, 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 in this wood paneling. I'm like, okay, so where's the other returns? and he's like, there's no other returns. I'm like, are you serious? And so we're walking around, and there's no other returns. Like, what? There's no bypass returns, no full pole returns, nothing. That's I'm assuming that's full pole from the attic, from the ductwork. But
What's a
there's
faux
no.
pole?
Sorry.
What's a faux pole?
I don't know
Full
what's the
pole.
proper term when it's straight to the ductwork instead of bypass return. What do you call that?
Open
Not a
return?
bypass return, like just
A
open.
wild
like,
return?
I don't know. It's anyways a proper return. You know what I mean? Like a ducted return.
How do you? I'm looking at this right now. How do you tell how much fresh air they're bringing into the house? Because they've got 3. They're showing. I don't understand this
Ooh,
right
it's
here. Are
got
they
an
saying this for
ERV too?
every unit?
Yeah,
Are they
of course they
saying-
have. It's by code. You need one in these newer houses. They got to put it.
are they- I can't see the numbers where it says exactly how much fresh air they're bringing in, though.
It says
It says
See,
72 degrees sensible or 72% sensible efficiency. They're doing 66 CFMs, but it's the same. It's 66 for.
that's at a half inch on those.
You go outside, take a deep breath, come back inside, blow it out, and that's all the fresh air they get.
Pretty much.
It's really not fresh air. It's really air. You could say air changes. You're not really.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what
Huh.
I mean?
Interesting.
You're just
It's interesting to see
exhausting.
the plans and stuff.
Why is it
Yeah.
not there?
Yeah, I was
What's
say, why
that?
isn't that fresh air? It is pulling
Well,
fresh air, right?
It
through the
is bringing
HVAC.
fresh air, but it's not like you're exhausting fresh. You're exhausting as well.
Well, it's an HRV, right? So it's
Right. Just a
Do
recovery.
they have exhausts too?
yes.
Yes, that's what it's doing. So you're exhausted.
No, I mean, like besides that, are there?
No, it might be one in the bathroom. Sure, and that's where it's probably supplying.
So you could have a pretty big job ahead of you. You could look at balancing the freaking ERV or HRVs. They might have dirty cores right now. They might have messed up filters. So the ERVs in itself could be a huge job. you know?
Well, listen to this. It's funny you say that because I don't know if they change if filters are clean. They have 16 by 25. One's a single 1 inch, and one's I think a 3 inch. I wasn't there on the focus on that too long when I was up there, but one's a 1 inch and one's a 3 inch filter. So I already know that 1 inch. Yeah, go ahead.
So I keep taking this off the screen share because I don't know what sensitive information's on this.
Sure.
So that's why I keep doing this. But
That's fine.
this is like the first floor. Look at, are they doing like linear diffusers? Like, why did they do all the
What
supply?
the heck is a linear?
Like the slot diffusers.
Probably because it's all probably
The
beautiful
hidden ones. They're
flooring.
the giant slots. They're just
Linear.
Yeah.
Linear, not
Oh,
linear.
linear.
Oh, shut up, you dumbass.
He's from California. Relax.
But I mean, I don't understand. Are they really doing that many
Dude,
small?
That main floor, I'm telling you, I was there when they were building it. Okay. It's all wood. Guys were in there detailing wood all like for weeks and months. It's beautiful. It's a lot of work, but so it's no drywall. It's like wood on top of maybe drywall, maybe wood, but it's like wood. They finish, they detail with borders, and it's crazy, dude. I'll show you a picture when I'm in there. I'll be taking a video. You're gonna see,
dude.
So now what are you gonna cut it into the ceiling or what?
Yeah. So, and he's willing to. He told me last time he's willing to do it. Like you could tell this guy wants better comfort.
What is
so
a China kitchen?
Oh, so a lot of Asians, China Mongolians, what they do is have two kitchens. One for crazy fish oil smell that they ventilate and put a huge CFM fan in there and exhaust because it's gonna smell up the whole house. And then one a normal kitchen, so everybody else could.
So they want to eat it, but they don't want to smell it.
Yes. Pretty much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
A lot of them do that. Yeah.
I was actually watching a show. It was who's that Peter Santinelli guy? And he was touring in Louisiana, and he was touring some really old homes before air conditioning, and their kitchens were actually separate from the house, so that way the heat and everything would be all the way on the other side. What are you laughing about, Adam?
Steve, China Mongolians. Yeah, just everything's Mongolians here. That's our slang. The overtime. The Mongolians.
I had a side job at a UPS store last week, and I was up there working, and as I was climbing up the ladder, this Chinese guy comes out the back, and he's like,
Mongolian,
like just kind of barely like putting together a couple words in English and forming sentences and stuff. But I understood the gist of it as he wanted me to look at his AC system. But the best part was, I was like, "Are you you own the Chinese restaurant, right?" And he kind of looked at me like, "Oh yeah, you're Chinese. Of course you own the Chinese restaurant." And then I was like, "Yeah, I'll check out your AC when I get up there." I don't know if you understood me, but
I'm pretty sure he doesn't call it a Chinese restaurant. He just calls it a restaurant.
Yeah, he just calls it a restaurant.
Yeah.
This is home cooking where I'm from.
That's one good thing, you know. Like they're not afraid to spend the money if it's going to improve their systems. These clients in this area, which is cool. I know one client. I was going to ask you. I never seen these things. Every furnace had one. It was a HEPA filter, but in a cylinder form with a blower on the bottom. Their filters in the furnace was like brand new. And every furnace had one. They just put a return and supply. But those HEPA filters,
is it a bypass?
Yeah.
Yes, Joe is Italian Golan.
Italian Golian.
No, Joe is Pakistani. If you guys want to know Joe's true ethnicity, he's Pakistani.
We play that. Where's that Shibbity Bop guy?
He's Pakistani, bro.
Yeah. Shibbity boop, shibbity bop.
Yes, the big beer. The guy during COVID, he got popular because he would shake his belly, and then the guy would bring him out the platter of like food that there's no way this dude could eat.
Then Didn't somebody send one of a girl doing it now or something?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
She's all like, "Yeah, that's gross."
Okay, I thought somebody sent something.
So Joe, you got a lot of responsibility. This is a job, and this
big job, dude.
You might not fix this if you don't do it right. You know?
What do you
right, and this is why I'm bringing it up. And Adam's here, guys, because hello, I'm trying to get But anyways, yeah, ding.
Trying to get some free shit.
Yeah, this is not one of those houses. Yeah, I'll just make the return bigger and just not gas, but take some pressure. No, I want to put a little bit more into this and do a couple more tests and
do it right.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do in the first floor?
Yeah, and maybe those could be oversized. Maybe I can even downside them. I don't know.
So,
maybe I should bring down the blower to see what happens. See what reaction it has.
They have a basement.
Just to see what reaction it has after I do a CFM check.
They have a basement.
I think you need to get two blower doors.
Huge basement,
dude. Huge double blower door test on the house because I bet you.
No. This house you don't need no blower doors. Okay, it just doesn't.
There's no way a house of this size is that airtight, bro.
If the builder's good and seeing what they did here, I guess
if they have fuck you money, as long as the builder really wants good quality.
Yeah, they use spray foam. Now, how bad did they do like the joists? Who knows? I don't know if they went to that. I don't know, but
are you assessing the capacity, the heat load, or are you just like we need to crank this air? Comfort.
The room should feel better. Yeah, the room should feel better. It feels like it's too stagnant. You could tell there's no air movement.
But I mean, if they have a lot of infiltration, that could be sucking away.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not
It
focused on
doesn't
that.
matter that they put the China kitchen all the way across the house, unless if the house is that airtight, the whole house is going to smell like Chinese food, bro.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm just, you know, it's a newer house, good windows, it's good fuck you money. I don't think it's that bad, even if I did do it.
I still can't believe they call it a China kitchen. Like, that's so
Yeah.
racist against themselves, but it's their own plans.
Like,
Like,
if you really
Yeah.
want to not smell it, you need to cook that shit in a submarine.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. You know what it is? Like, I had a Vietnamese friend. And, oh, I did the proper term. I didn't say Mongolian. But anyways, and they love fish oil for everything, right? So
wait, ZSA's a forest ranger? No way, dude. You took
what?
What?
Forestry range services.
my dream
Yeah.
job.
Wow.
All right, so let's get into Bill using MeasureQuick this week. What'd you think, Bill?
Oh yeah. Well, if Adam's robot blowjob machine ever stops, we can get started here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Thanks
So
for that, Adam.
this
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a side gig this past week at a UPS store. Ding! Shout out UPS. We're looking for sponsors. But it was just like a comfort deal. I go there all the time, do my packaging, send my boxes and whatnot. And he had mentioned something about it was really warm in there, and they only can get some cooling if they put fans like up high on shelves and stuff. They kind of get a little bit of cooling then. So I was like, you know what, I do this. Let me stop back after work. I'll check it out. And it's a Bryant 410 unit, right? I think Bryant 410 unit. It's old. I think 06 or something like that. It's had some work done to it. The motor is a little bit smaller than I think the motor should be. Just kind of painting the context here for you guys. The motor, I think originally, what do you think, Chris? 1750 RPMs for it.
The indoor blower motor?
Yeah.
Should be 1725 is what it should be on a unit that size.
This one
RPM?
was, I think, 60 RPMs. I think this one was 1650 or something like that. But and then the compressor was different. I don't know that the compressor. No, I did find out eventually that the compressor is smaller. The compressor that does go in there is close to 48,000
Got it.
BTUs.
So they put a
The one
smaller
that's
compressor in it.
Yeah, the one that was in there was like 36,000 BTUs. I want to say. But yeah, so that just made it a little bit less efficient. But when I was there the first time, I knew the coil was plugged, condensing coil was plugged, the belt was shot, motor was not the original. So with all that in consideration, I cleaned the coil, put a new belt on there, adjusted the motor, got all the little efficiencies that I could tweaked. And then I still wasn't getting I wasn't getting anywhere near the supply temperature that I wanted to get. I was getting 61, 62 degrees. My suction saturation temperature was up in the 50s, 51, 52, I want to say. My head pressure, though, after the coil was cleaned, of course, was like spot on. And so I phoned a friend, talked to Chris, and we pulled the charge, put the charge back in there. Charge was fine, weighted in perfectly and all that fun stuff. And then we got around to hooking up MeasureQuick. And I don't remember the exact steps to it, but like the way Chris had shown me how to do it was like sort of
I took him
backing
the
your way
back way
through
to
it.
MeasureQuick. We didn't go through the full workflow or anything like that.
But
we just went in, paired his
honestly,
tools.
like that's really all you need.
Gauges.
Or that's really all I need for situations like that.
What is the
So
back door when you're doing it?
You just go into the gauges. So don't go through the workflow. You just go into MeasureQuick, then go down to the right-hand corner where the little chat thingy's at now, because it looks like a chat box. And then you click gauges, and then you profile the system from there. You just manually go in and do a profile.
That's after you map your probes and all that.
You're basically not putting the models and serial numbers in. You're not going through the guided workflow. You're just backwards going in and using MeasureQuick, basically.
But I mean, we did.
Not happy right now.
No?
We did set it up as a.
Well,
13,
I will
16
say
SEER.
that MeasureQuick is amazing if you're working on residential systems, but on a package unit, it doesn't give you the information you need because oftentimes you can't go down to the first supply diffuser and put your supply air probe there. You can't get the return air probe far enough down in the return to get a true return temp. So oftentimes you're putting them in the side of the package unit, which is 9 inches away from the coil. So, it's always a pain. So it's never going to be perfect on package units. So going through the guided workflow when you can't get proper probe placement, I don't know.
But I will say, like, going through all that, we came up with or at least MeasureQuick had some pretty decent suggestions of what the problem was. I don't remember. I wrote them down. I don't remember exactly what they were offhand. But the biggest takeaway for me was the delivered cooling capacity that we were able to figure out.
Yeah,
was like 27,000 BTUs on a 4-ton unit.
Yeah,
and even though the CFM was, according to MeasureQuick, 1,600, which was spot on, which actually it was oddly spot on.
Yeah, but also you have to remember too, because of the thing that I said, you're not able to put the supply air probe as far away from the coil and the return air probe. So your delivered capacity is going to be a little bit skewed too, because they backwards calculate your delivered capacity using the air property, like using the air temperatures. So you got to kind of take it for what it is.
Didn't last week? Didn't you play around with? You found like a manufacturer's fan table for a package unit, Bill?
That was this unit.
Oh, that was this unit.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure out the CFMs before I talked to Chris, and I was trying to figure that out. And I think, how did I do it? I ended up using the watts of the motor, and I sort of backwards figured it out through the fan table because I didn't have any additional information.
Yeah. So Tom Socha is saying that MeasureQuick is set up to take supply and return at the grills, not in the duct, and that's the point that I'm making. And then also Eric says sometimes you need third world solutions. 100%. As long as you understand, I use MeasureQuick all the time, right? But I don't use it the way that it was intended. I'm not necessarily using the diagnostics. I'm just looking at the data that it consolidates for me and puts in front of my face. And you have to understand that I'll say it a lot in my videos too. My supply air probe is not perfect, right? It's not in the right place. I know that there's, so you can't just take everything that it says and say, that's my problem.
Right.
It's not always practical.
Well, that in commercial spaces, sometimes they just have an open supply that's 20 feet up in the air.
Have you ever seen, I have 1, 2, 3 restaurants off the top of my head right now that have open returns that just pull from the attic. And then they have users at the drop ceiling all over the kitchen and stuff. They're just pulling, but it's just a giant attic return, which is
a wild.
I see that everywhere here in offices.
Really common. So
it's really common.
A lot of the commercial pet stores, for whatever reason, pet stores are what's the big pet store brand here?
PetSmart.
PetSmart. That's the one.
Yeah.
All their pet store locations, we used to service them back in the day, and it's just all open, the big box stores, Home Depot, Lowe's. It's just open return, open supply, just hanging off the ceiling 20, 30 feet up in the air. So if you want to test those units, you're not going to, get up there and do that.
Something that I did figure out, and this threw me for a loop if you guys didn't know this. So if you use MeasureQuick with the TrueFlow grid, because Tom is saying that airflow is now an integration with the TrueFlow grid, 100%. So if you are in MeasureQuick and you can toggle over to use the TrueFlow grid, because I was recently profiling my house, just checking the airflow and stuff. And then the next time I went to go use MeasureQuick, it wasn't populating my airflow. And I'm confused. I don't understand. You have to toggle off the TrueFlow grid. It doesn't turn it off the next time you use it. You have to go back in and turn off the TrueFlow grid.
It's activated in the toolbox, right?
Yeah. You got to go in and turn it off because that one threw me for a loop. I'm like, why isn't it showing me airflow? And then I'm confused and scratching my head. And I'm like, it says TrueFlow grid. And then you click on it and you're like, delete that. And then, there's my airflow, the estimated airflow. So.
But all that to say, that was the first time that I've ever actually used MeasureQuick, other than just I used it before just for digital gauges on my phone.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I ever actually used it.
I genuinely love it. I love the data consolidation. I think I said it on the last show that we did, if I didn't. But I was just curious, and I set up MeasureQuick on my house, and I was staring at it sitting on my couch and just looking at the numbers. I was bored. My wife's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, just looking at how the AC is performing, And then it said that I had a loose TXV sensing bulb. And I'm like, there's no way. Sure as shit. I go over there, fucking loose sensing bulb. I was like,
crazy.
Quick on residential system. It was spot on.
Pretty cool.
That Jim Bergman. You gotta watch out for him.
I have to
Jim
say that I
Bergman for
saw
president. Wow.
he did a post that I saw Jason Julian was there, and
You know how
actually
long
Andrew
the speeches
Grieve-
would be with Jim
Andrew-
Bergman as president?
Go ahead, Chris.
The longest
he just did a
the
class.
State of the
on
Union would
HVAC
last 2
training.
weeks.
Yeah, Jim just did it, and Jason Julian was there, Andrew Greaves was there, and I want
Oh,
to go
cool.
to a MeasureQuick training. I would like to go.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of cool.
It
Yeah,
is
eventually
cool.
I think I would like to get a better handle on it.
Jim,
There's so many things I want to
Jim,
learn.
he goes off the rail here and there, and he goes off on different tangents on different topic, and it's like it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know?
2
Yep.
weeks president's address. That's hilarious, Bill.
Yeah. Well, I say it's time we wrap this up.
Yeah.
Sure,
gotta
yeah,
go.
dude. I'm exhausted.
Hang out with the family and try to get ready for the end of the world with this whole computer outage thing going on. So,
Good luck.
yeah.
I hope you got lots of beans stored up.
I got my 6 months of food in my cupboard outside that's been sitting out in the 110-degree heat in my garage for the last 2 years. So I'm sure it's still good. What is that, dude?
I would love to know. He's like a robot. Maybe this is a clone of Adam, maybe, guys.
Like a sleep
Robot
apnea machine? I'm still confused on what this noise is.
That's what happens when you molest a Roomba. He gets upset.